Becca, I know that you've been on ProAnox for about 4 months now. Tell me how that's impacted your training.
Well, at first I didn't feel much of a difference immediately, and I thought, okay, maybe this is just something that's gradual, and I kind of missed a few days here and there, and I realized I started to become a lot more sore, so I added it back into my diet or my daily intake, and all of a sudden I was able to train more days together. I wasn't as sore. The movements like deadlifts weren't becoming too much of an issue with lower back pain, so my soreness started to kind of just go away. It wasn't any intense soreness, and I really feel that the ProAnox was the reason for it, and it just helps me train harder each training session, rather than having to kind of slow it down or take an extra rest day because my body can't handle it. I feel like it's working. Whatever it's doing, it's working.
Great.
So yeah, it's been huge in my performances, today and how I train every day.
So I know that you've been on ProAnox antioxidant system for a couple months now. Tell me a little bit about how that has impacted your training.
Big time. I've always had a sensitive stomach when it comes to supplements or vitamins and stuff like that. So I've had to be really careful what I take. And I saw Becca Voigt take it. She trains at my gym too at Valley CrossFit. And I was interested, hey, what is that? And she told me, and I said, might as well give it a try. And I actually won a packet at a couple of NLIs ago. I said, I'm going to give this a try. It can't hurt to try it. And I was lucky, and it works, and it doesn't give me an upset stomach. And I mean, that's a lifesaver to someone that has a very sensitive stomach to everything. So.
Excellent. So I know that you've been taking ProAnox for about 6 months now, and you mentioned recovery as a big issue as you train. Tell me about how ProAnox has helped you or impacted your training.
Well, as far as impacting my training, it's kind of been one of those things where you almost don't realize it because it just fits in so seamlessly. It's really easy to obviously just take some supplements and move on and not really notice what's happening, but what I like the best is that you don't feel anything as it's happening. Like if I'm feeling upset stomach from taking a lot of vitamins or something like that, dizzy, nausea, I've had that in the past with other supplements. So that is when you notice it. With ProAnox, I don't even realize I just took it. And what am I realizing but in my performance? I'm recovering faster. I'm recovering easier. The workout's over, okay, what's next? I'm gonna work on skills for an hour. That flew by, I feel good. I jump in on a workout later in the day. It's like the fact that you don't realize it is what's really helping. So that's my favorite thing about it.
I know that you've been on ProAnox for a little bit now. Tell us about how important it is to your training.
ProAnox, I've been on it for just a little less than about a month, and I've noticed that I feel good. I take my rest days, I kind of listen to my body, and as of lately, I feel like my body just feels good, so I tend to have to force myself to take a rest day. My body feels good day after day after day. That's the biggest thing I've noticed. I wake up in the morning like, I feel good today, must work out, but we take our rest days. So definitely, it's made a big difference for me in my training. Yeah.
Hi, Adam Salcedo here at the NorCal 40s, here with Shannon Tipton. So tell me something about the last event. How was that for you?
It felt good. It felt easy getting over the wall. I didn't feel super winded. I had a lot of energy. Good.
Great. Excellent. I know that you've been on ProAnox for about 4 weeks now.
Yeah.
Tell me how that's impacted your training.
Definitely, the first thing I noticed when I started taking it was that I didn't have to take my ibuprofen anymore.
Okay.
Totally off ibuprofen. I noticed that my recovery time is much faster. I'm able to work out harder, come back the next day and work out hard again. I'm getting PRs.
Excellent.
I just feel better. It's impacted my sleep. I'm sleeping better, a little bit better rested.
Okay.
So,
and just to finish up, how is the event going for you, the entire NorCal 40s?
so far so good.
Okay.
Feel pretty good, so we'll see.
Okay, well, thank you so much and good luck for today. Using ProAnox for a couple weeks now?
Yep.
Okay. And have you been able to feel an impact at all in your training and recovery?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we're about this is about 4 days in, maybe even 3.
Okay.
I feel recovered recovery is a little bit better.
Excellent. And tell me about a little bit about your preparation for an event like this.
I got great trainers at our gym. We weren't so much prepping for the event because it is just doing CrossFit on a daily basis. A couple days ago, I started working on the snatch, which is next. We haven't worked on that much, so such a technical skill. Hoping I can keep everything going through my head.
Okay.
All the steps.
Okay.
And pull it off.
So what is your approach then in terms of if you're kind of still working on those things? What is your approach ultimately with this event?
The event or
with the snatch and then the event as well?
The event, my approach is to be obviously in the best shape. I feel like the workouts I can do pretty well at. We train hard on cardiovascular stuff. The snatch, as you know, is just so technical. So for me, preparing for the snatch is all up here. Trying to think every step and landing within my base, being perfect, because that 20 double under is quite penalty.
Right. Well, good luck. And we'll be watching you. Thank you. Thank you very much. So you just mentioned the importance of recovery in your training. Can you tell me a little bit about how important knowing that you have the NSF certified ProAnox in your daily routine?
That's probably the most important thing to me when I'm looking at products. Before I care about what the product does for me physically, I care about that I know what I'm being put in my body. I know what's safe being put on my body. And the main reason for that too is I'm a Division I coach. And I would never be a supporter of something that I wasn't fully comfortable with, and giving somebody and having them feel comfortable with it as well. And I also work with very young athletes too, high schoolers and younger. And being what is being put in your body is come before the actual benefit of it. And then obviously knowing the benefit of ProAnox as well, it's putting those two things together. It is the perfect product and the safe product, and that is just a fantastic thing.
Great. So I know that you've been on the ProAnox antioxidant systems for about 3 months now. Tell me a little bit about how that's impacted your training.
I think it's a night and day difference. For me, it's like I said, 46 years old now, and it's all about recovery, man. I need to get sleep. I'm sleeping good. The big thing is that it's the soreness. Definitely, I'm a lot less sore. And for the amount of workload that I do, I'm not anywhere near like what China's doing for a workload. But she's like 10 times the athlete that I am. So, but for my workload, it's working out perfect. Definitely just like less soreness, better recovery, able to train, day in and day out. And literally, like, I don't miss training days. That's what's the good thing. I miss training days occasionally because of work related, not because of body related issues. And that's the big thing for me. So that's where I think it's helped. Compared to last year, I can look back at last year and tell you that my training is way, way better this year. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to be way, way better, but my training is way, way better. I'm hoping that that's what it equates to. Right. And I'm not making any promises and saying that I took this wonder drug and now I'm going to be like, I'm going to win the games. You know what I mean? Just trying to be a little better than I did last year. So there's two things I'm fighting. You're always trying to be better, but unfortunately you're always getting older too. You know what I mean? So it's definitely helped with that. And, I recommend it.
So China, I know that you've been on the ProAnox antioxidant system for about 3 months or so. Tell me about how that's impacted your training.
Well, I used to get really sore from pretty much anything. By Wednesday, I'd feel kind of wrecked and like it's hard to stand up, all this kind of stuff. Once I started taking ProAnox about a week in, I felt so much better. By Saturday, I was still feeling like it was Monday. My recovery just got a lot better. My soreness was nil to none. I mean, on a scale from 1 to 10, it was maybe a 2 or a 3, where it used to be like an 8 or a 9 by Wednesday. I mean, just recovery and soreness, it's just helped dramatically.
Great.